Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Up Close on METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, Station Manager for Manatee Educational Television, and it's our great pleasure to have with us today an individual who is really making a difference in this community. Her organization, the Manatee Education Foundation, reaches out to teachers and students throughout our district. It's our great pleasure to welcome here today Mary Glass. Mary, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk about what I think is one of the great organizations in our community, the Manatee Education Foundation.
Well, thank you, Charles. I'm so glad to be here this morning, and it's one of my favorite topics, so it's going to be fun to talk with you and tell you a little bit about what the foundation's been up to, and be able to explain some of the things for our listeners as to who is the Manatee Education Foundation and what do we do and maybe how they could get involved.
And you know, I think it really is. I think the community really does know, but I think we need to really promote some of the great things that you've achieved with the Education Foundation. Now, the foundation started 1988, is that correct?
1988.
And tell us a little bit about the history of the foundation.
Well, I don't know if everybody's aware, but Marge Canan was the founder of the Manatee Education Foundation. There was actually some community monies that were brought together to the school board, and they didn't really know where to put the money, so voila, came the Manatee Education Foundation. So since '88, we're now in our 25th year. We have been through a lot of changes just in this last year. We are an independent 501c3. I've been 7 years with the foundation, and I was actually inside the school board as an employee. Even though we raised our own salaries,
funding, right.
We were still a part of the school district. But a week ago today, we moved to the professional building downtown in downtown Bradenton, right. And are in our own offices now, and it's
fantastic.
A new day.
It's fantastic, and over the years since the beginning of the Manatee Education Foundation, the mission has really been to help teachers. And under your leadership for the past 7 years, you've really blossomed. The organization has really blossomed. To reach out to teachers and get them funds, so they can continue some of the great work that they do each and every day. The mission is to augment and enhance teachers' supplies and services that they provide. Is that kind of correct?
That's right, Charles. It's the sole mission of the Manatee Education Foundation that's not changed even when we moved from the district into our own offices, to support funding for enhanced programs and educational opportunities for our teachers in the classrooms. And that's what's so important, is that's our mission, is to support the school district and specifically the teachers and students. And there's wonderful stories behind that.
And you've done so much. I mean, there's so many things that the Education Foundation has achieved by helping teachers with grants, with funding, so they can continue to further enhance their students' experience. And I want to take some time to talk about the great things that you've instituted under your directorship. And one of those things that we've been very fortunate to be involved with for a few years is the Ready to School Rally. And it's a wonderful opportunity for teachers to come together, and then you present them with mini grants, for their classrooms. Is that correct?
That's right. It's every August, so believe it or not, we just got out of school yesterday, but we will be getting ready for one in mid-August. It's the week before teachers go back. We think that that's a great time to help them with the funding. And I also want to thank my board too, though. I just want to mention that.
Talk a little bit about your board.
Well, they're from all circles. We've got Manatee Memorial, we've got NDC, we have Mosaic, we have Lockheed Martin. We have a whole mix of people on our board, Folly Bryant. people that have been involved and that love education and are passionate about education. Ross Hodges is our chairman this year with First Manatee Bank. Great person to work with because he was formerly with the Boys and Girls Club too.
Right.
But having the support of a good, strong board like we have, the people that are involved in the community,
Exactly.
Is really a wonderful thing. So, and they support that, but
Well, let me just say something about your board. It's really wonderful that you, as the director of the Education Foundation, has such a strong board that, really understand that, the mission is to help teachers. And that's what you've done. And when you have people of the caliber and the quality that you've just mentioned, you can't help but, spill into the enthusiasm throughout the community.
That's right. And, without them, they stay on mission. They really help me, and we work well together. So I couldn't be more pleased to have such good people behind me. And then also, we have new this year, Danny Sherrill joined us.
Correct, and she's one of your support staff, colleague, that helps in all the many things that the foundation does.
That's right. She's the new development director, and then we have a new office administrator who's an accountant, Alicia Watterson, who has young children, and Danny has children in the school district. Our board has lots of children in the school district, so there's a common bond there with everyone that works together.
And I think too is that they have a great support for teachers, and throughout the community. They understand that a teacher's position is so instrumental to the continued learning for all the children in this district, and anything that the foundation does is to support that mission of that individual teacher.
That's right, and back to the Ready for School rally. We gave over, hundreds of teacher grants, and there are many grants that are about $500 each. Some are a little bit more, some are a little less. But we gave over $120,000.
That's remarkable. That's
just for this small, this, I call it small, but it's a big event. But just to give you some examples, I thought it'd be fun here to just pull out.
I'd love to hear
maybe a few of the ones that not necessarily the best, but that are just fun, like the Peace Garden at Blackburn. It's pre-K through 5th grade, and this group, what I thought was great with Larissa Bennett, is they have a bully-free program, and this Peace Garden is really to help bring awareness around this problem that goes on in the schools. So in September, which is National Peace Month, they're going to have a dedicated ceremony around that. So maybe when we get closer, we can be sure to cover that.
And how imaginative it is for a teacher to say, let's take a step forward and say, make this a kind of a special event. And with your help and with the help of the foundation, they can do this.
Right. And then the district will get behind this, and I believe they've sent this information to like Steve Valley at the district.
Exactly.
We work together, and that's our common goal, is to work with the district and help support the programs that are necessary. Then there was another one where we sent kindergarten through 5th grade with Judy Kelly's class at Miller Elementary. The 5th graders all went to the Sarasota Orchestra. And these are young children that would probably never be able to get or afford or be able to have the wherewithal to go to an orchestra.
It's a very expensive process, to provide transportation and to book that. And knowing Miss Kelly, she wants to expose her students to the very best in the community, and having the opportunity through the Education Foundation, to travel to the Sarasota. It must have been a wonderful experience for those kids that they'll treasure forever.
Yeah, it's the evaluations we get back just about this time of the year. We get the wonderful pictures and the thank you notes from the little children. So, but then we have a primary focus though that's in the literacy, as they call language arts today.
Right, you're very involved with reading and creating early reading and the importance of reading for children.
Right, and that's a whole nother show. But there's a thing around the 3rd grade level reading that will be, that the United Way and other groups are getting involved in. But we like the fact that we're right now just helping those teachers where they need the money with a program called Building a Florida Standards a Literate Classroom.
Wow.
And what do we do? Well, usually it's things like providing the books that they need for emergent readers, reading journals, fiction, appropriate nonfiction and fiction texts for kids to read and respond to. And that's just one example at Prinell with Carrie LeBoy. But then at Braden River High, we had an intensive reading literacy success program where 11th and 12th grade intensive reading for those students who had not passed reading to meet their high school graduation requirement. 99% of the students are lower 25, and they increased their FCAT 2.0 reading score from a 9.3 to 93%, and 98% of my seniors passed reading. And this is Deborah Hartline. And this program was, you know, again, supplies.
Funded through the Education Foundation with supplies and support.
That's right. And again, around the $500, you know, amount. So, you know, a lot of people can help in that area. Another one at Onico L, second grade, Jensina Barnes, did Explore Reading. And again, providing books for between second and third testing periods, some comprehension. It's helped in those areas of the testing. So, you know, that's where we know that we're helping improve the quality of our education by some of these just ancillary things that we bring into the classroom.
And I must say, Mary, if I may, is that, you know, without the support of the Education Foundation, you know, many of these programs might not be available, because the Education Foundation has that access and ability and desire to reach out to these students and the teachers and say, listen, we can help you. We can help you further your teaching by helping you provide, whether it's books or a trip or whatever. Tell us a little bit about the process, because I'm sure that, you know, there's many great teachers, there's many great ideas out there. You know, the people say, well, Mary, I want to do this type of program. How do they do that? How do teachers approach the foundation? Do they apply online, or, you know, they read an application?
Well, thank you for asking, because we do want to encourage more teachers to get involved. It's an easy process. They go to mefinfo.org.
And we're going to put that up on the screen so people can see
and
that.
They go into where you can apply for a grant application. It's really just as simple. I have it right here in front of me, a simple 2-page process, and they give us our funding requirements, and then we bring in a community of people to read the grants and evaluate them, and then we decide on the ones that we feel are, you know, a good example of things that really help in the classrooms.
Right. And I'm sure there's a lot of great applications that come to you each and every year.
There really are.
And it must be very difficult for you to say, well, okay, well, this is very good, but these are like very, very good, you know?
It is difficult, because there's, in some cases, we want to look towards some larger programs and working with aligning with the district and seeing if there's underfunding for something that may affect the entire school district or an entire grade level or several grade levels.
That's an excellent point. So you're looking strategically as well to see how the foundation can help the district achieve you know, greater success, and that's a wonderful thing. But aside from the mini grants, which you've done, and we've been involved with your Ready for School rally for a few years, and you really create a sense of excitement. You've had marching bands, and you have cheerleaders, and you really, you know, set the mark by enthusing the teachers with a sense of, you know, we're here for you, and it's just a wonderful event. But one of the things that you've done also is you've developed a matching grant policy and procedures, and that's in working with the state.
That's right.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there's funding that comes into the consortium, which is the foundations. Florida is a unique situation. We are the only state in the United States that has the strategic alliance of, there's a foundation, an education foundation in every county. I was just last week in Fort Lauderdale working with the likes of Collier, Dade, Broward, you know, Pinellas, Hillsborough. So we get to see best practices around the state, but with that funding, that represented close to about 60,000+ this year. And again, another little excitement, we were able to match some of the children going to the South Florida Museum.
Wonderful.
With help with our partners, Florida Power and Light, Mosaic, and Bright House. But then also the Florida Aquarium. We had a benefactor step up and fund 2,000 students to go to the Da Vinci exhibit.
Oh, and which is, you know, down at the Braden Auditorium, the Da Vinci machine exhibit, which is really wonderful. And it's got to be, you know, it's one of a kind exhibit.
And then really
how exciting for young people to participate in that, where ordinarily perhaps they would not have had that chance to go.
That's so true. And the fact that we said 60 teachers go in the beginning got them enthusiastic, and then they brought their students. So it really is. It was in cities like Denver and
St. Louis.
St. Louis. So really, we were fortunate to be able to
Very
have something
fortunate,
like that
yeah.
in Bradenton.
And I would guess that the reaction that your teachers and your students got from doing that exhibit or going to the South Florida is just overwhelmingly supportive and positive about giving the opportunity to participate.
And Charles, this is a perfect example of how a business person can get involved in the foundation. We had a gentleman step up, say, I want the funds to go through the foundation so you can monitor and make sure that the students go. And then we worked with him to help coordinate with the city and the different players that are involved to make that happen. So that's where we play a pivotal role.
I think
with the community, like the liaison from the private sector into the school district to help fund needed programs. I mean, teachers were in the Badlands with last week. They're on archaeological digs. And
with Jeff Rogers from the South Florida Museum.
Well, we funded the teachers to travel there. And of course, the Toomey Foundation does a fabulous job with that. But we just like to be able to be there to help with ancillary funds to make that happen.
And you are, and I think one of the key phrases that you use is pivotal. You are a pivotal partner in making this. You bring the best of everything together. You have these wonderful teachers and their students, and you have these very generous organizations that are very supportive of your mission, and you as the Education Foundation and under your leadership, you bring these together, and it's really to be applauded, for not only the continued success that you've had, but for some of the innovative things that you've been able to accomplish as well.
Well, and as you're saying that, I can't not thank Senator Bill Galvano.
Exactly.
What a strong supporter of the foundation and what he has done to help support our foundation. He's been involved with the foundation and around it since '88 and knows the wherewithal that we can pull resources together with the community to help make these kind of things happen, because so oftentimes at the end of the school year, you'll have a school that'll be not be able to get their funding together to go to Odyssey of the Mind because they won a national spot at it.
And that's a really big thing. It's a really wonderful thing. It celebrates student success. And then the Education Foundation stepped up and provided funding so these students could attend the Odyssey of the Mind, which is a really remarkable achievement.
Yes, and and the Galvano Classic that we do,
I wanted to talk a little bit about that, and the Phil Galvano Golf got named in honor of Senator Galvano's father. It's really a wonderful event, and we've documented it on a couple of different occasions. But all the proceeds from this are benefit the Manatee Education Foundation for their continued good work. It really is a signature event for Manatee County. You have great attendance, you have great support throughout the community for us, but tell us a little bit about the success of the golf tournament.
Well, we were just thrilled this year because we had a goal, we met the goal, we raised $320,000.
Congratulations.
It's the cornerstone of the foundation to be able to give us the ability to help all these different types of programs like Odyssey of the Mind. We were able to give $30,000 to Take Stock in Children with part of the matching fund.
And Take Stock in Children does a remarkable job. They're always outreaching. And to be able to have partnered with the Education Foundation to receive additional funding so they can continue to do the great things they do. It must have been a wonderful thing for them to have your support.
Yes, and I met with Diana Dill today. We work with a lot of different organizations, and I think that's the key there is not to be an island, but find out where the needs are and then work together because sometimes together we can, as we know, we can do more.
Exactly.
And maybe, and we work a lot with the superintendent, Rick Mills, who actually sits on our board also, and we have a school board member, Bob Goss, who's also on our board. So, we do work closely with the district, but without the support of the community, it wouldn't be there. And I don't think that a lot of these schools would be able to do the kind of things that they're
they'd
able
want
to do.
that they really want to. And if I could just mention about the Galvano Golf Tournament, you have a wonderful turnout for that. And it's people from all walks of life. You have people from corporate businesses in and around the community. You have political leaders from all over the state come and support it. But you have individuals as well, individuals who are very supportive of the mission that you have and who just want to come out and show not only their support but their enthusiasm for the programs that the foundation does. And it's really a great turnout.
Oh,
it's a great
is.
event.
It is. It's sold out every year, and it's luckily I've been helping coordinate it for 8 years. It's in its 18th year though, this last year, but to me it's really an honor to be able to work with Bill and his team to help probably one of the best golf tournaments in the state, according to even the people that come. I mean, they come from all over the state, and it's just a real
and
fun day.
Yeah, it is a great day. And you know, having the opportunity to have interviewed Senator Galvano, he couldn't be prouder of the fact of the partnership that the Education Foundation and the golf tournament come together. He's very proud of this, and he, being named after his father, he wants not only to succeed, but you know, to have a purpose. And I think your partnership with that is just tremendous. It really is a wonderful thing, and as I said, he couldn't be prouder of it. If that wasn't enough of all the great things that you accomplish on a day-to-day basis throughout the year, you also have another, what I would consider another signature event, and that's called Heart and Soul. And it really is a wonderful thing. And tell us what that is, Mary.
Well, that's now in its 8th year that we've done that, but it's exciting that it's a chance for the art teachers in our high schools. It's really part of their curriculum now, once we started it, like we said, 8 years ago, where we auction off student artwork. And it started with 25 pieces that Dr. Larry Thompson from Ringling has been our auctioneer, and it's been a wonderful evening. It's a gala that we've moved it around. We're excited this year. We're going to move to the Manatee Performing Arts.
Wonderful place.
And Janine has so nicely offered, we're going to be able to showcase the student artwork for the whole month of January.
Fantastic.
So when people are at the play, they can step out and see the works of our students. It's been impressive. I've gotten to know our art teachers closely over the year. There's some very dedicated staff.
Absolutely.
But the excitement is getting these things framed by local framers. It was Sarasota. I have to give them the credit with Dr. Deering, who took us down to Sarasota and really educated us on a great event that they do there. We brought it to Manatee County, and
it's taken off since then.
Very well.
And I must say, Mary, you know, having attended the event, and we've documented it for the foundation on some occasions, I must say that the artwork that is created by these students is exceptional. I mean, it's a wide variety of different disciplines. You know, some of it's drawing, some of it's oil-based, but the talent of these young students is tremendous. And because of that being, well, two things. One, they get to see their artwork on display, and you invite the artists, the young artists there, don't you?
Oh, yes. I think it's their glimpse into the world of art that they would never see.
It's really wonderful. And then as those are auctioned off, the artwork is auctioned off, that funding goes back to the foundation so they can continue some of the great mission work that they continue to do.
Well, not only do we give money to the students, but we provide seed money, which we'll do in early fall, to the schools so they can get supplies to create the artwork. We feel like it goes full circle.
It does go full circle. I mean, because that's what your mission is to continue to augment and enhance the educational mission of the district. And you know, as I said, you know, during your tenure here, the Education Foundation has really blossomed. It's really reached out. It's developed new programs, new outreach. You have wonderful community partners, you know, and some of the people that are very supportive. But if you're an organization, a business, or even an individual, and you think that the mission is one of those things you want to support, how can they get in touch with you, or how can they find out more about how they can people can support the Education Foundation?
Well, you know, one thing is the website, you know, the mefinfo.org.
You have that up on the screen.
But I think the opportunity that I like around the teacher grants and some other areas, or the field trips, where we showed that an individual stepped up and paid for the students to go.
Yeah.
But on a smaller scale, $25, $50, $100, whatever, we can put those towards the teacher grants, and they can be designated, and people join us at the actual event and actually see the checks go into the hands of the teachers, so they enjoy that part of it.
And I would think, you know, as a business, as an organization, seeing that your generosity is going right into the hands of a teacher who's going to make a difference in the lives of her students, it's got to be rewarding for an organization to see that.
Well, it is, because, you know, as I say, I like to keep my head down, keep working, work towards helping the teachers and the students, stay positive, because you know, this is an important stuff that we're doing here, and I think that it's easy to get diverted by things that are in the news, and we like the idea of being in an independent spot, in a climate where it's positive, and raise money around the schools to help the schools.
Right.
And that's where we stay focused.
And you certainly have, and you know the growth and the generosity of this community has really been evident in some of the support that the Education Foundation continues to get. And I would encourage, you know, businesses, large and small, or individuals, to find out more about and how they can be supportive of what your mission is. Now, unfortunately, Mary, the time really has just flown by. We only have a couple of minutes left, but I want you to have an opportunity to talk about what you want this community to know about the Education Foundation and why it's such an important and vital part of our community.
Well, Charles, you know, as I said earlier, I believe we play a pivotal role in helping our teachers do a better job in the classroom if we can, and if they reach out to us for help, we'll be there. I just think that the Manatee Education Foundation, like foundations around the state, really play an important role in helping build community support around the school district. I think that so oftentimes businesses, individuals don't know how to get involved, and we hope to be there for them to help them with we've helped with all kinds of things that people need if they need to raise money around it. So we're willing to listen if there's something, but primarily we want to align with the district and help them with programs that may need funding this year, but especially to work with the teachers on what they need so ultimately the students succeed.
Well, Mary, I can't tell you what that this has been such an informative program. I think the continued work that the Education Foundation continues to do each and every year, you know, you're always out in the forefront doing something, is such an important part. And I would encourage people throughout this community to find out more how they can help support you and your mission, because I think it really is, and the bottom line is that it's helping our teachers, and by helping our teachers, it's helping our students. And you know, I can't tell you what a great job that the Education Foundation continues to do. And it's very imaginative too, you know, from the golf tournament to Heart and Soul, you know, to the Ready for School rally. You're very creative in trying to get the news out there and to create this sense of enthusiasm, you know, that you are a great partner for this school district.
Well, Charles, I've always admired your work, and you know, I'm a big fan, and I just thank you for letting me come on just to tell a little bit of the story.
And we would welcome you back at any time, Mary. If you want to come back and perhaps bring some of those teachers that you read about and talk to them about, you know, how grateful that they are that they had an opportunity to do some of the things that they wanted to do because of the generosity of our community and the Manatee Education Foundation. And we're going to put the website up on the screen so people can go there, they can find out more. If you're a business, large or small, an individual, an organization that would like to contribute or somehow get involved, we would encourage them to do so. Mary, thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining us on this very special edition of Up Close on METV. And then we'll just pretend.